Previously, the group picked themselves up off the ground in the aftermath of the dragon flying off. While the others discussed what exactly the plan was for their next move, Sean tried to scry on the Praetors to be sure they weren't caught by surprise. When she did, though, her spell attached itself to the dragon instead. He clearly was aware that she'd cast it, and told her that while he appreciated her caution in trying to look in on the Praetors, any attempts to look in on them or anyone else would lead to him. Always. They were in his land, and everything led to him. The conversation regarding what to do next continued. Should they try to clear the lake? Would that help? Hurt? Waste time? Around that point, a kobold named Postage showed up with a letter to deliver to the group. The dragon had sent them an invitation to his hoard, and he expected Postage to show them the way. It quickly became clear that no was not an appropriate answer, so after Taria finished sticking her hand into the boiling acidic lake for the purposes of science, they followed Postage. And to their shock and confusion, Postage was able to lead them to the dragon's lair in an hour or so, when it was days and days of travel away. Clearly time was a bit wibbly-wobbly in the Scorch Basin when the dragon was involved. After Sean was blasted by a geyser that Postage wrote a strongly worded letter to, the group made their way to the large obsidian door that led to the Sovereign's hoard. They were let inside by Fee, the dragon's kobold butler, who led them down a long staircase. They found themselves in a room with a shimmering pool in the center, where they were introduced to more kobolds named Grady, Surcharge, and Invoice. The group sensed a theme with the kobolds' names. The group was asked for their names, and Fee recorded them in a book. Grady hurried over to clean up the group's boots of anything that would dirty the Sovereign's halls. Fee asked the group if they were ready for the rules. Tornak and Yuri tried to convince Fee that they didn't need the rules, but it didn't work. Rule 1. Guests shall not harm the staff. Rule 2. Take nothing that is not given, priced, or won. Rule 3. Pay what you agree to pay. Rule 4. Proceed. The house dislikes loitering. Rule 5. All exchanges are recorded for the quality of your visit. Rule 6. Enjoy your stay. Then Fee picked up a large gold coin with a dragon's face on the front and nothing on the back. They asked who wanted to carry the Sovereign's coin, and Yuri took it after trying to play some word games. It was the party's marker. Taria chimed in to ask Surcharge what they did, and Surcharge explained that they watched their door and charged a surcharge for it. Behind their door was a very nice, peaceful chapel. Invoice's door led to a lot of workers, and fire, and lava, and workplace injuries. Fee asked if the group was going to leave a first gift. Taria handed over 4 platinum and a drawing that she'd previously drawn, a gift that would also give insight into her. Fee took it over to an altar and put it down, at which point the drawing and coins both disappeared in a puff of smoke. They told the group it had been delivered to the Sovereign. They then told Yuri to look at the coin, and 2 tally marks appeared on the back. The group went back and forth about which door to pick to move forward before deciding to flip the coin that they'd been given. They ended up choosing Surcharge's door. There was lava in the hallway, and the group was very wary about having to jump over it. Taria jumped over it without issue, while they set up a floating disc to get everyone but Sean across. She almost fell into the lava when jumping, but Rylid changed time to make her not fall. Nobody had any idea what Rylid had done, save his friend and his staff, much to his annoyance. The group headed into the chapel, where a kobold named Reverend Tithe was hiding. They popped up to introduce themselves to the group, only to hide again when there was a noise from a large hole near the back of the room. Reverend Tithe explained that something had dug up through the ground below and was stealing from the chapel. They knew that they should have reported it immediately, but that would have led them to getting in a lot of trouble. The group agreed to take care of whatever it was for Reverend Tithe off the books if they would answer a question for them, also off the books. Reverend Tithe agreed, and they asked where they could find the Sword of Veils. It was deep in the dragon's hoard, on a pedestal all by itself. Then the group prepared to fight. The being was a shadow spawn that clearly wanted to be a dragon, as it was a facsimile of the Sovereign, albeit one that was much weaker. Taria got large, and everyone prepared to attack. And that is where we left off.